Hey, hello, hello. Oh yeah, by the way, check it out the shirt. Check out the shirt. I got it here in Seattle. Yes, it's amazing. She got it at a lovely little co-op called the Chop here in Seattle, and it's actually pretty amazing. Unfortunately, it's going to get shut down soon, from my understanding. I actually want to talk about that really briefly before I get into the point of this video. It was pretty cool. You saw black people, you saw white people, Native Americans, you saw straight people, gay people, trans people, homeless people, sadly. They were giving free food to people like hot dogs and tea and things of that nature. People were praying with each other. They were praying for each other. It was a wholly wonderful experience. And it's something that I'm so glad I ventured all these miles for, because this is what I came to Seattle for, just for that. And I'm so glad I got to see that. Moving on. Oh yes, by the way, like in that little co-op that they call it the Chop, the Capitol Hill occupied protest zone. In there, you also see people from different parts of the country. I live in Boston. There's people from Dallas, Atlanta, California. It was amazing. And people from Seattle, like, it was amazing what you got to see there. They had community meetings to discuss things. People were talking, about how, everybody should be respectful of one another, things like that. I know the news media is spinning it to be like Antifa or something like that, but that's not the case. At least not when I saw it. And of course, there's going to be a few knuckleheads in the bunch. I did see a couple arguments, things like that. But overall, it was a very, very wonderful experience, and I wish more people in America would actually go to these places and go see these things in person before they start judging and saying all these horrible, horrible things. Yes, there's graffiti. Yes, these places have been overrun, and that's fine, but that can be problematic, whatever. Because I know if I was a business owner, I might feel differently depending on how my money is being affected. That being said, you can replace property, you can't replace people. And the people there, a lot of places that, businesses that were still open, still operated, they didn't charge anything. They were giving things for free through donations, things like that. There was a place that was looking for people to help out in their kitchen. It does have its points where, like, it can be considered to be problematic, or it can be considered to be a bad thing. But overall, I'd say the experience was pretty positive. And I just wish people who watch specifically Fox News would do their homework, and they're talking about people who are being shot and things of that nature. Probably so, but you get that everywhere. A lot of these things that people are talking about as if they're like ghastly or new things, you get that everywhere. And I think it's time that we actually sit there and do our homework, talk to people who've been there, find people who've been there, and figure out what's going on. You know what I mean? It was amazing. I was walking through, and they had there's a lot of white people there, and there was like a notice for Juneteenth, which, as we know, is our black people's 4th of July, and white people were like, okay, there's a sign that says, it's been requested of us to leave that space for a memorial, for that day, but which we're going to do, but we're going to be around the perimeter to lend our support. And I thought that was so beautiful. And I thought that was so great. And it just shows people, like, hey, you don't have to experience it to be understanding of the situation or of the plight or of the problem. That commune or occupational protest zone is probably the best of America. You have different people with different viewpoints, different life backgrounds, and they're sharing ideas. They're talking to each other. It represents the best of America, but the worst of America will have you think it's the worst. That's what America should be more like. And it saddens me, that it's not like that in most of America. I feel we need more of those chops. Now, granted, I can do without a lot of the graffiti, things of that nature. But you can always cover that with paint. You can't cover the lives that we've lost. You can't cover the racial divide that we're having in this country just as easily. And that's what the Chop has done. It has started a dialogue in that city amongst people who might not even have the conversation in the first place. Okay? And a lot of people don't talk, what they're not talking about was a lot of people who were causing problems at these places were MAGA people. They were coming in, trying to start trouble and stuff like that. And people were recording without permission. That was one request they had in that place. Do not record without permission. So I took a lot of pictures, but no videos. I wanted to interview people, but I'm like, you know what, to be respectful, this is what they say I shouldn't do. I'm not going to do it. But it warmed my heart. Like, you know, people were praying with each other. I actually had somebody from Texas, from Fort Worth, Texas, talk to me, give me a hot dog and some tea. And he's like, can I pray for you? Can I pray over you? And for me, normally I'm like, ooh, you know, whatever. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, why not? It's brotherhood. I walked past people huddled in little circles praying with each other, praying for each other. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I loved it. Loved it.